Hello students, today we are going to do sums on the remaining types for other than cash. What are remaining types left now? The type 3 is promoter and type 4 is underwriter. Now let's understand one by one. The very first type I have written here is for incorporation cost. Now let's understand what is incorporation cost means. Incorporation cost means, students, when you're starting a new company or forming a company. Now tell me, students, what we call that person as who is forming a company. We call them as a promoters. We in day-to-day life we use this word founder. Now those persons who are founders of the company, those persons are called promoters in accounts. Now, so promoters, founders means one and the same, who have started the company, or you can say in other words, who have formed the company. Now let's try to understand what is incorporation cost means. Now whenever you form a company, definitely you will have to spend some money to form a company. For example, you will have to pay to the lawyer for making those documents to form the company. What are the documents required to form company, students? Number 1, memorandum of association. Number 2, article of association. And there are many other documents which we make as per the Law of Companies Act 2013, that is prospectus, and many more documents are there. And we are just business people, we don't know how to make those documents as per the rules. So we hire a lawyer and we have to pay money to him to draft those legal documents, MOA, AOA, prospectus, and many more. That is there, that those are nominal amount. Now to form a company, students, you also need a factory place. So you have to look for a site, for a factory site. Now you will look for a factory site, you will purchase a land. Now you know land is very costly asset. So you will invest money, you will spend money for purchasing that land. Then you have to construct a factory building over there, and you will also purchase an office building, or you will purchase a land for office as well, and also do construction over that land to make an office building. So all those expenses comes under formation or this for forming a company. So incorporate this expenses is called incorporation cost. Students, you can also call incorporation cost as a formation expenses. So you are forming a company, and for forming that company, whatever amount is spent, we call it as formation expense, or you can call it as incorporation cost. So student, who is spending that money? Promoters. Now let's assume the company is formed. Company came into existence, company got the incorporation certificate. Now company is an artificial person after getting registered. Now company will act as an artificial person and will do business. Now what will happen, students, here between founder, promoter and company? Now after forming a company, promoter will ask for his money which he has spent for formation. So let's assume for setting up a company, promoter have spent roughly around say 1 crore. Now this is your incorporation cost. So this promoter is asking to the company to pay 1 crore which promoter has spent for forming it. So company will have to give this formation expense, this incorporation cost. So this money is payable by the company. Now how company is settling this? By giving shares. So let's see how to record this. So this is what I explained you, incorporation cost. It is also called formation expense. So since it is your expense, what effect to give, students? As per our accounts rule, debit all expenses and losses. So you are going to debit incorporation cost account, or you can also write it as goodwill account. I don't prefer to write this account, but since you have an alternative to record the entry, so you can also write, if you want to write it as goodwill account, but prefer to write this account, students, incorporation cost account debit. Since it is your expense, you will debit, and it is payable to whom? Promoters. So your entry will be incorporation cost account debit to promoters account. And if you want, you can write the alternative account here, goodwill to promoter, whichever way you want. But I prefer, and I would suggest you also to write incorporation cost. Now this is your settlement ka entry. I have labeled this entry as settlement. You are giving money to the promoter. How you are giving this money to the promoter? Not in the form of cash. you're going to give in the form of equity shares. So this will be your promoter account, debit the receiver to equity share. Share is going out. And I will also label this entry. This is due ka entry. Due entry means you are showing it as due. The amount is due. The amount is payable to the promoter. So this is due ka entry and this is settlement ka entry. I hope you have understood this part. Or it may be possible that in question they have given you that the shares will be given to the promoter at a premium. If it is at a premium, don't forget to write SPR account. And whenever there is a premium or SPR, also don't forget to use the formula. You know the formula, we have applied this formula in the previous video. So same formula, same working note you will have to do if the question says that the shares were issued at a premium to the promoters. And if it is at par, this is at par. If it is at par, no need to do any calculation, no working note, it's a very simple entry. So it may be at par or it may be at a premium, any one of this. I hope you have understood type 3 now. Let's move on to type 4, which is like companies giving shares to its underwriter. Now let's understand who are underwriters. Now underwriter means basically they are brokers in the share market. Broker means you can also call in simple word agents. So those brokers are there in the share market, and I'm suppose a founder or a promoter of a company and I formed a new company. So when I say new company, no one knows my company's name. So tell me, if you have never heard a company name, will you invest money in those company? Never. You will never invest money in that company which is never heard. We don't know that company. We are listening, we are hearing those, we are listening to those names for the first time. So we don't have trust. We don't invest in those companies which are very new. We never know when that company gets shut down and will run away with our money, hard-earned money. So here we will not take a risk of investing in a new company. So what happens if everyone is having this psychology that not to invest in new company will never get money then. Whenever they issue shares, no one is going to buy. So how new company will get a funds if no one is trusting on that new company? So here in this scenario, in this situation, underwriter comes into the picture. Now what will be his role? Basically underwriter, as I said, is a broker in the market. So his role will be to push our shares to the investors by just praising for our company, like this company is going to earn a very good profit in the business. They have their own formula, patents, copyrights. They are going to use those patents for manufacturing new machines, and they are going to make a profit, super profit. And they are also planning for expansion. They are also planning to export that product to 2-3, they will just say 2-3 countries ka name that they are going to export it. So they are going to just praise, or they are going to just tell our expansion plan to the investors. And if the investor is understanding it, like if it is possible, then they will invest in that company. So what is the role of underwriter here, students? They have to push our shares. So new company ka share is being sold in the market with the help of this type of brokers, underwriters. Now why we are calling them underwriters and not the brokers? A minor difference, students, listen carefully. What is a minor difference? Underwriter take a guarantee that if he fails to sell all the shares of the company, he will have to take up all those unsold shares. Let's try to understand with the help of example. Suppose I am going to start with a new company and I am issuing 1 lakh number of shares, and I have appointed Mr. A as my underwriter. Now Mr. A ka role will be to sell my all 1 lakh shares to the general public. He has to push hard. He has to do marketing very strongly so that he will get success to sell all the 1 lakh shares to the general public. He tried his best and he got success in selling 80,000 shares, and 20,000 shares remain unsold. Now in this scenario, what will happen, students? 20,000 ka shares of my company, underwriter will have to purchase it and he is going to pay for that money. So he will keep 20,000 shares, 80,000 is already sold to the general public. So from there I will get 80,000 ka money and 20,000 ka money I will get from the underwriter, and 1 lakh shares are sold. So this is where the role of underwriter comes. He gives a guarantee that if any shares remains unsold, I am going to purchase on my own. But for taking that guarantee, what is his benefit, students? Why he will take such a responsibility on his shoulder? Because company will give him underwriting commission. Now what is underwriting commission, students? This is something extra commission which underwriter gets over and above the normal commission. So let's assume that a normal commission to a broker is only 0.25%. I mean to say 25 paisa you can say. So 25 paisa is a commission to the normal broker. How much underwriter will earn for taking this responsibility on his shoulder? He will get 1% commission for underwriting such shares. It goes to maximum 2.5%, which is allowed by the SEBI. SEBI allows underwriting commission of maximum 2.5%. No company can give above this. Have you got this, students? So 2.5% is a good percent commission which broker underwriter is going to earn. Now let's see, students, how to record this. So this is your type 4, which is a last type under this other than cash. So for underwriting commission. So if you think from company's point of view, company will have to give him commission. As I said, 2.5% is a commission which is highest. So if we have to pay commission to the underwriter, it is an expense. Then our accounting rule, what our accounting rule says? Debit all expenses and losses. So underwriting commission account debit, and it is payable to underwriter account. So this is your due ka entry, payable to underwriter, due ka entry. Which will be, what will be your settlement ka entry, students? Settlement ka entry is underwriter account debit to equity share capital, which is same like above. So your entries in type 3, type 4 is same. Understood, students? And if it is given, this is entry for when the shares are given at par. And if it is at premium, this will be your entry at premium. So what will be your entry? Underwriter account debit to equity share capital to SPR. Again, you have to use formula, students, if it is at premium. So both the types are similar, only the difference is here there are underwriters and here there are promoters. I hope you have understood both the types under other than cash. Thank you, students.